What up, y'all? It's your man Sam Mint here at Viral Hip Hop News, and we are live on this beautiful Saturday evening. We have an artist spotlight. I'm very, very excited to show you guys my brother, David Wilson, CEO and president of Blackboard Incorporated, is about to join the show, about to break down all of his great products, his crowdfunding campaign. I cannot wait to talk to this brother. I cannot wait for you guys to get to know him a little better. It's been a lot going on out here, man. And first and foremost, all my subscribers, all my new subscribers, all the people that have been watching and engaging on my videos, dropping your support, dropping your comments, just really showing the support. I have to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. The amount of support that I've received these last couple of weeks, these last couple of months, these 4 years in my journey on Viral Hip Hop News and the podcast, man, it's been an absolute blessing. And I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Do me a favor, drop your area codes. Let me know where you're listening right now so we can get this joint started. We can get this joint warmed up. We see a lot going on within the community. We see a lot going on with Kanye West. We've been talking about that at nauseum, on the podcast, as well as here at Viral Hip Hop News, me speaking on it individually. And as opposed to just talking about it all the time and whining and crying, we out here putting our shit to action, man. And we are out here supporting one another. Got a great brother, business owner, entrepreneur doing great things, Mr. David Wilson. We're about to bring on the show. But before we do, let me get some area codes in here. We got 616 in the building, 215 in the building, 615 in the building, 917 in the building. Y'all keep dropping them area codes, 301 in the building. And let's give a big shout out to my man, David Wilson, who's on the show right now. How you feeling, family?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Nah, man, the pleasure is all mine. I'm very excited about the show. Like I said, you are the CEO and president of Blackboard Incorporated. I got to see your website. I got to see your crowdfunding campaign, Make Backpacks Great Again. I absolutely love your brand, love your product. Somebody that carries around his book bag all the time with my computer and things like that. Very interested in your product and your brand and how you got it started. But before we get to all that, give the people a little bit of an introduction of who you are in your business that you have currently.
Yeah, my name is David Wilson. I created a solar power backpack, fully patent, U.S. patent, and it's been a long journey because we represent the next generation of backpacks because everyone has their mobile devices, and everybody has a backpack.
Right.
The market has not allowed myself to penetrate those markets, and myself not taking outside funding because, as you see what's going on in the world, if you don't control your product, you don't control your voice or the way you move.
Right.
So I started this venture back in mid 2006. My brother was in Iraq. I tried to call him, and he's like, I couldn't pick. He never picked his phone up. By the time I spoke with him, I said, "What's going on?" He's like, "I have no power." How can you be with the military and no power for your phone? That bothered me. I was like, that didn't make any sense to me. Right. So in the meantime, I was working for a financial company, and I was working on a patent product for a company. And I said, you know what? I can apply this stuff to my life. So I saw a problem with my brother. I saw what the market was going for in terms of what Obama was going to the White House. So I've found a product where I can create a mobile portable product so that you have on the go power anytime that you need it. So I said, why did you need a backpack? You may not want a backpack everywhere you go, but my product allows you to detach your solar panel, and you can clip it inside your golf cart, inside the window of your office building, or in your classroom, so that you can have power to your phones, because there's only a limited number of outlets anywhere you go, especially in the airport.
Right.
So when I got my patent in 2013, I went straight to Under Armour. So I thought it was going to do a great deal because we had a patent. It was going to license the technology so it can be readily available to all. But no, it got shot down, and my team, we had to continue to grind it out organically, and that's why I'm reaching out to this show, because you know what? If we're going to grind, we might as well grind this stuff together as a family.
Absolutely. Now, you had a problem. You were trying to communicate with your brother who was overseas serving in the military, and you found a solution. And any great entrepreneur, any great person who invents something, that's how they come across a genius new product. Is they have a problem, they find a problem, and they find a way to solve that problem. So you feel like you're doing that with your book bag. Before getting into that venture, Were you ever into any other business ventures? How was it like growing up for you to have this kind of business mind? Because everyone has problems in their life and little things that they can find solutions to, but very few actually take the time and the effort and the will to dig in those crates, to dot those T's, to cross those T's, to dot those I's, to make it actually happen. So
Yeah,
talk about
that's
the
a
initial beginning of it and how it started.
very good question. I've always, from childhood, I always had a more of imaginative mind in terms of watching like science fiction shows and so forth, especially like Star Trek or Deep Space Nine, that was dominated by a black captain. But other than that, I created a watch line in the early 90s after the LA riots called Peace Watch. And I started to realize that your mind can create your avenue. It's up to you to go through it and learn the pain points, because once you do something, you're going to come to a problem, and it's going to be up to you to either quit or push through it. And I found out that once you start something, if you do a little bit every day, you will amass a ton of knowledge, and you will push your project even further, because a lot of times people always say what they want to do, but 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do anything. So I'm the guy who listens.
Right.
I listen to great ideas because I know what it takes to execute. So after the LA riots, I did another product called the student driver car, meaning that I took a sign, you see them everywhere now, but I took a sign that's on a pizza delivery car, and I've actually rented these signs out to families who had children who are learning how to drive. So I would just rent this sign out and actually turn your family car into a student driver car. Like when kids are learn how to drive when they're in high school.
Right.
So I had that going for me, and when my background is New York Stock Exchange, working in the financial markets, working in the trading environment. So I kind of had that mindset of understanding the stocks and the trading and the investment mindset, but I've always worked in it from a support standpoint. A lot of our people are in roles and jobs, but we're still at a subservient role. And there's nothing wrong with it. It can pay the bills. But when you step into the seat of actually driving a company and actually having a game changer product that is a whole new product category, that's where you're going to find out. That's where the real battle is. And so that's where I'm at right now, and it's been tough in terms of financing,
Right.
Organically.
I was going to ask you about your experience in the workforce because, I'm going to give my cousin as an example. He's always been like that entrepreneurial. He always had that entrepreneurial spirit, entrepreneurial mind, even as a young kid. He owned his own detail shop when we were like 19, 20 years old. And we obviously started our platforms together and our podcast, and the rest is history. But you typically see people with that type of mindset not really adapting well into the workforce. They are hardworking, great people, but when it comes to having somebody over them, it's almost like having a teacher that you just can't relate to. You hear the language, you understand the language, but it's something foreign to you because they're not relating to you and who you are. How was your experience in the workforce on the stock exchange and being, I'm guessing, like a financial person and things like that? How was your experience during those times?
Well, that's a great question. I understood that me as a husband, a father, there were certain things I had to put on the back burner because there was the responsibilities of my time each and every day. So the way I look at it is that I couldn't just walk away and jump 2 feet in, because when I got my patent in 2013, it's kind of like going to a party early. There's no one there. And by the time if you're early, you're wasting your time. And so you kind of have to wait till the market comes to you. 2016, New York Times did an article about backpacks market. If backpacks, it went like, if you don't have technology including your backpack, you're going to be out of the marketplace. Basically, that was in 2016 New York Times article.
Okay.
And still, as of today, with the high energy prices, people are actually changing their behavior because they're not driving everywhere, and they're actually taking the train, they're taking the bus, but they haven't changed their consumption of using their mobile devices. That's where we come in, and and we are able to kind of leverage that new market that is changing right before our eyes.
Now, see, this is why I love doing what I do and having these type of artist spotlights because obviously I interview your music artists and things like that, and they show their music, but the versatility of being able to have somebody that seen a problem, like I said, identified a problem and is looking to solve the problem with something like backpacks is very intriguing to me. I carry, hold on, I'm gonna grab my. I've had this. You said about 2016. They said that the times will change. I probably had this backpack since about 2014.
Mm-hmm.
My joint. I put my computer in there. I put my
Right.
my electronic stuff. I carry it everywhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important, but it's not something that I'm typically. I'm like, oh, I'm not thinking about creating a book bag. How did
Right.
you like? Okay, I know you said that you were trying to communicate with your brother, but what were the steps in actually getting the book bag, getting the materials, finding the book bag? How did you have to come along with that? Did you put the straps on the bag? Like, how did that come about?
So, and that's another thing is that being a problem solver, I think that's another trait that I have. I like to solve problems. So, I was working for a financial company where we were infringing on someone's patent, and it was my job to come up with features around this patent. Knowing that I had a problem that my brother identified and where the market was going, I learned the patent process. And so when I started to look into the marketplace in terms of not having power when you're away from your home, I'm like, I started to think of different devices. And so I found backpacks that was already integrated with solar panels. So
Mm,
what I've said, I can make this better by making it detachable, and when you actually look at the product, you'll notice that I'll show you right now
hmm.
that it looks like a normal backpack. So I'm not sure if you can see it really well,
I'm gonna put it up
but
for you. I got you.
this is our first entry into the marketplace. Blackboard Solar. It has a USB connection that you can connect your mobile device into.
Okay.
Um, but the secret sauce is here because it looks like a normal backpack. Then we remove our panel, and that's where you start to generate your power.
Huh.
It goes from a normal backpack to a solar powered backpack, where now you have on the go mobile portable power. And the other part of our secret sauce is that it's detached, and you can see that it's detached, and you don't need your backpack. And if you can see,
Oh, snap.
there's a red indicator light.
Put it up a little bit.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay.
and you can barely see it, but once it's out, you could probably see the red light now.
Yep.
Oh, where is it? There, you
I
see
got you.
that?
Yep.
And I'm in my house, and it is actually drawing power on just any type of light. So if you're on a beach, if you're traveling, like I said, on a bus, whatever, you have power. And so, with the issues with the weather that happens on various coasts, you will always stay connected to the outside world, and we'll be able to create different embodiments of this product that will appeal to the college kids, um, hunters, backpackers, camping, the whole 9 yards. And so we realized that this one entry will be able to create a massive industry that it's owned and controlled by our people and is able to put our people to work. And so that we can send our kids to the best schools and have the infrastructure by doing it ourselves. And so that's our first entry. If you guys look it up, our patent number, it's 8410748. And if you just Google it, you'll see the whole utility patent. So it has like 20 years before it runs out.
Powerful. That's
Uh,
awesome. And I gotta go. Go ahead. Do your thing, brother.
Furthermore, we actually filed two more patents, and one more a utility patent last June, and a design patent. The design patent, when you see our configuration, which represents like 75% of the backpack market, this is a backpack with a little side pocket. Companies that's already in that space will be able to go toe to toe with those companies, being able to capture market share, and market share is the valuation of our company that is still to be determined. And so what
Awesome.
you're looking at is that's it laying out in the sun, it's getting power. The other piece was just there's a USB connection, so it looks clean and neat when you're walking. You're actually being able to charge your phone, and one of the cool things about it is that if you have a fully charged phone, the power connection goes into a battery, so you're always saving. You're always capturing your energy into a battery storage. So none of this is ever going wasted.
How difficult was it to get a patent for this? Was it did how much getting patents aren't easy to begin with, and they cost and all in the whole 9 yards, getting trademarks, all that. I got Viral Hip Hop News trademarked. It took well over a year and a half, and I thought it'd be a lot easier than what it was, and it was some time consuming stuff going on. So a patent, I can only imagine. So how
Yeah,
difficult was it to get that?
very difficult.
Yeah.
I filed in September 2009, and I got it in April 2013.
Wow.
And it was really expensive.
Yeah.
But I learned this, and I would tell this to anyone who has an entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm in Chicago. Um, I realized that the attorneys that do this type of work is really expensive in large cities. So I found an attorney in St. Louis, and their rates was a lot more advantageous for a startup. And
Mm.
I also found out that the guy that did my patent in St. Louis worked at the patent office. So when he had a problem, he just picked the phone up and called his colleague in Washington D.C. and found out what does it need to take to get this thing approved. And so that relationship, that communication, actually allowed me to get over the goal line.
Nice. No, I'm getting a ton of questions. A lot of people feeling your product. A lot of different questions about your product. Why don't we get into the aesthetics of your actual book bag? How much does it cost? Who are your target demographic? How do people purchase it? Is it even in the process of purchasing? Because I know you're running a crowdfunding program right now that we'll also get into. I have your website up that I want to show the people and get a little more in depth into that as well. But how much did your
So
product cost? What would it release?
like right now, on our website, we're doing pre-sale orders at $99. If you buy now, you're getting like a 10% discount at 89. That
Mhm.
kind of falls in line with what other products in this area falls in. Um, our target um, our target is um, for bulk items, we were focused on licensing, as I mentioned earlier, product promotions, like going to like say Viral Hip Hop News. You may want to have some really cool giveaways to some of your customers.
Right.
You can put your logo on it. You can have this really cool product, high tech product as a giveaway, and
Right.
disaster recovery. And as we continue to grow, we actually have a FBA account with Amazon, so that as we continue to build our company, we can still do the onesie twosies out of Amazon, so that it allows us to keep the lights on, pay our salaries or whatever, pay the rent. And so as we continue to develop more products and new features, we'll be able to do so, just by having it open to the public.
Now, is it Apple compatible? What's the other one? Samsung compatible? How's the compatibility with all cell phones and things like that?
Yeah, it's all compatible as long as it has a USB connection.
Nice.
It can go into any one of the phones that you mentioned. We will be looking at updating the backpack with all the components of USB Type C, so that it will actually enhance the charging capabilities that will make it super fast charging backpack out there in the marketplace.
You're awesome.
So
Awesome. Awesome stuff. We got David Wilson, CEO and president of Blackboard Incorporated, on Viral Hip Hop News right now, showing off his absolutely phenomenal book bag, a book bag that I'm looking at, my book bag of 7, 8 years, and I'm like, damn, I need to step my game up. Now, you were also emailing me and telling me about how you can customize the bags as well. Talk about that.
so for example, if we went to high school, or a company that like a local high school here that has their logo, their emblem for their company, for their school. we can actually customize it that way so that we can have it in their school colors
Mm,
and throw their logo on it. And even for a fundraising aspect, for that all the kids of the student body can actually buy this and be unified, it can actually raise funds for like their sports program or their tech program, what have you. So with that being said, I mean, it'll gives a lot of flexibility in terms of getting our product out there. Just be about being a school that's conscious about sustainability, that their kids can actually have something that they don't have to draw down off the school's infrastructure by having it on themselves.
absolutely. I want to get into your your Indigo account, your campaign right now. I'm going to share my screen. Guys, be patient with me real quick as I do so. I want you to break this down for the people as well so that they can get an understanding, an idea of how they can contribute if they want. Mr. Wilson, you can see that okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So we got Make Backpacks Great Again. We're on the Indigo website. You got the campaign. Now talk a little bit about this campaign and what people can, how they can contribute and what they should expect.
Yeah, so this campaign is that we're trying to raise 15,000 to make our first production run out of our manufacturing facility. This will allow us to kind of get our product in a bulk amount coming from our manufacturer, so that as we grow, we can actually do more in terms of social marketing. We can do more in terms of product design. We'll be able to hire some interns and so forth for product research, because we believe that we can actually create, using our power facility on our backpack, we believe we can create a network of backpacks. So for example, if you're in an area where a tornado comes through and the whole area is knocked down, and you as and we're working with an insurance company, doles out 1,000 backpacks to their customers, those backpacks can actually be on a network while the infrastructure is down, allowing those users to be able to log into that network and get up to the outside world. And that's where, being able to get this out in the marketplace, because we'll be able to hire software designers to be able to create a app that allow them to speak to that private network, that they can reach to the outside world in terms of letting people know that their family members, they're okay, or any type of first responders. But those are things that we're kind of looking at forward thinking in terms of not just a backpack. We're not just going to be a one trick pony. We're going to be able to leverage technology to be able to go into other things like a networking capability, and a lot of things with kids that's being like targeted in terms of abductions. We're going to be able to put
Mm,
technology like GPS or cameras on the backpack, so that a parent can actually log in and see, who's following them, as they're
right.
walking down the street, or where are they, So we're looking at doing some pretty outrageous things in terms of the technology that's being presented.
Nice. No, I just dropped in the chat right now. I had some people asking me where they can grab the link for the crowdfunding site. You guys can see it right there. You can click the link to go support this brother and his great project right now. I want to read something that you wrote in your bio, or your caption, I should say, and it's in Risk and Challenges. It says, "We face many challenges being an African American startup. The obstacles and hurdles have been nonstop, but with the high energy prices this year has dealt our company back into the game. We are also pegged to deliver our innovation to people affected by the war in Ukraine. We believe that we can provide our solution globally." You definitely have just a global friendly product, absolutely phenomenal. What are some of the risks as an African American startup business do you face on the daily that maybe some of your white color counterparts or maybe other ethnicities maybe wouldn't have to deal with?
That's great. That's a very great question, because you can take a non-technical backpack that has the same pockets, the same zippers, and they that's in the position of power, that's have the slots in the retail stores, since they have those connections, they will still make that more important than you having the ability to communicate with the technology that is all around us. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
So what we have is our perseverance, and as if people that's online that can share, even tell their family and friends that Their company, there's products out there that we are owning and we control, and we're still growing. I met a gentleman out of Boston, 1854. This brother has a electronic bicycle company,
Wow.
fully patented. It's unbelievable, and he has kids from MIT working on his staff.
Nice.
Met another brother out of North Carolina, has Black Folks Camp 2. So he's going around trying to encourage our people into the camping RV space. So we are a growing demographic, and don't let anyone tell us otherwise, that we're growing while others are paused, and we want to be able to have the ability to provide goods and services to a growing demographic. That's all, that's where we're at.
Awesome. Now you said your goal is 15,000. We're currently at 2% of that 15,000. We damn sure want to get that up here on this platform. So if you're rocking what Mr. Wilson said, you're rocking with his product, you're rocking with his story, please let's support him right now. If you're watching this live, you happen to be watching this on the back end, please help support now. So let's get into how we can support. I'm clicking to see options now. It says makes a contribution. I look at it, looks like the minimum is $10. So when somebody invests, where does that money go? And what happens when you reach your $15,000 goal?
When whatever we reach in terms of our crowdfunding campaign, that those funds will be used and be pegged to our manufacturing facility that will allow us to have a large purchase of backpacks from 500 to 1,000 units that's readily available. Because as distribution is maybe limited, as long as we have our product at Amazon, we will have some products hands-on, so that I can hire a sales staff that will have products that will be able to go to the East Coast, go to the South, and go to the West Coast, that will go out there and start penetrating these markets. Even if we're not in the retails, but we can actually do product promotion, because a lot of corporations are talking this diversity inclusion. What better way of showing diversity inclusion by putting your logo on a backpack to your top clients and to your employees, that just don't talk about it, just be about it.
Love that idea. I love that idea. We got David N. Wilson, CEO and president of Blackboard Incorporated. Make backpacks great again. You can see his crowdfunding campaign. I will put that up again once again for those who are interested in supporting. There's the link right there. You can find it in the chat. Please go support right now. Now, you brought up team, and as we were having this conversation, this can't be a one-man show, man. I can only imagine the amount of responsibility you have as the CEO and president of this company, not to mention all the small, minor detail things that are very important to this backpack and its brand, from its construction to its capability to its accountability. How's your team, and how easy or difficult has that been to construct a
Oh,
good
well,
team around you?
great question. One of my partners, Malcolm Towns, he's out of St. Louis. He just recently got his PhD in biomechanics. He does technology transfer at the university level. So I needed a product guy. He actually took the patent, and we hired a designer, and he actually went through it line by line and had this product that I displayed, make sure that we fall in the patent, from top to bottom, so that when we launch our product, we're not going to have any pushbacks by the other folks out in the marketplace by saying we're doing this, we're doing that. No, we're following the U.S. patent, because if you know anything about patents or anything about innovation from African Americans through the history of this country, there's been numerous of products and projects and ideas that have been stolen and have been utilized by other folks, because we didn't have the power or the might to protect ourselves. And so by us having just following the rules in terms of having the product patented, I hired a guy, the best product guy, that will allow us to speak to the marketplace. One of our team members is an IP attorney that comes from the investment space, so that if there ever come down to a point where we're going to raise capital, that we're going to have a private offering or something like that, we would have the infrastructure of people that's on our team that can handle that work without going outside to to a firm that can shut you down just by you say something that they don't like. So, and we have a marketing gentleman that actually comes from the University of Illinois that has been with the team since day one. So we got some pretty sharp brothers on our team, and we would be open to other talent that can come in that can leverage their talents to help push this to the four corners of the earth.
Mr. Wilson, I sincerely appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your contribution to our culture and to this world. Like I said, you've seen a problem, trying to talk to your brother who was overseas fighting for this country, and you solved a problem, which is absolutely phenomenal. Sounds easy, but it's not easy at all to execute. You got a great brand, a great product, a great head on your shoulders, doing great things, man. And I salute you and I appreciate you. And you have my support and help however you can. You guys see the link in the chat right now. You also please click that link to find out more about Mr. Wilson's crowdfunding program, Make Backpacks Great Again. He has a goal of 15,000. Let's help him get there so we can get these backpacks out globally, worldwide. It's an absolutely phenomenal product. I love it. I see you got the water on the side. Man, I'm sitting there figuring out how I can get me a bag right now with the Viral logo on it. And
hey, don't worry about it, because just by being on this platform, and like when our products come in, that would be one of our first contributions, to help those who helped us, and just to be here to share our story is phenomenal. I really appreciate your time.
Nah, I appreciate you even more, brother. And I thank you for like I said, trusting in me and investing your time and your product in me to come on here on my platform and show it to my people. So, hey, listen, he took the time to do it. I got people in the building right now. Please, please, please support. Please show him some love, whether that be in donation, whether that be hitting him up and supporting him in spirit. Please show him support right now. Before we get out of here, Mr. Wilson, because I definitely appreciate your time, give some lasting remarks on what you feel like the people should know, or what you would like to share with the people before we get out of here.
Doing a crowdfunding has been like a humbling experience for me, because my wife and I, we went through the mortgage meltdown crisis in 2008, and trying to maintain our household and our standard of living, working a full-time job. And we've had some hiccups. We lost our home in foreclosure, but I still kept my eye on the prize, still being gainfully employed. And she's been by my side through this whole process, and just to be able to leverage away from corporate America to be able to create something that's special for our people. We're at the beginning stage of something great, and I'm looking for your support. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nah, I appreciate you more, Mr. Wilson. Thank you so much. You guys see the link there, and it's also in the description box of this video. If you happen to be watching this live and you catching on the back end, show this brother some support. Great product, great brand, and this is why we do what we do here on Viral Hip Hop News, to give people a spotlight where they typically wouldn't be able to get seen. So let's take that even further, and let's show some support. Mr. Wilson, I appreciate you. Do me a favor before I get off the stream. Stay tuned, because I'd like to talk to you a little behind the scenes before we get out of here. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Whoo, Dad John. This is why I do what I do. You see, we talk all week about hip hop and things that are going on in the culture. We give criticism to people that we feel like aren't doing enough. We call out people who we feel like are faking. This is my way of not doing any of that shit, to be able to provide a platform for entrepreneurs, whether they be musicians, whether they be artists, comic book writers, doctors, somebody starting a backpacks and a creator of a backpack, an interactive backpack that's about to take over this world. Man, oh man, I'm so happy to do what I do. Please support Mr. Wilson and his crowdfunding campaign. Like I said, the link is in the description box as well as this video. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. If y'all have a brand, if you have a product, if you're an artist or an entrepreneur and you would like to be highlighted, just like we see Mr. Wilson on Viral Hip Hop News, do me a favor, email me at samant@vhiphopnews.com. That is samant@vhiphopnews.com. I'm about to get out of here. We had another one in the books. Stay tuned to some more, artist spotlights coming up very, very soon. Stay tuned to great content coming your way soon as this video is over. But until next time, until next story, I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Love yourselves. I'm out of here. Peace.